Hello, students! Today we are going to begin our exploration of the character of Jacob Marley from A Christmas Carol. In this lesson, we will be exploring the first of Jacob Marley's characteristics as a penitent. Our focus will be on Marley's portrayal as a penitent figure. By examining Marley's solemn return as a ghost, we see his concern for Scrooge. We will then look at his warning to Scrooge and how his sorrowful reflections serve to highlight his sincere regret, drawing attention to his moral awakening. Let's begin! Marley's primary purpose in returning as a ghost is to warn Scrooge about the consequences of his miserly and selfish ways. He acknowledges the errors of his own life and seeks to prevent Scrooge from suffering a similar fate. This act of warning demonstrates Marley's penitence as he tries to atone for his past actions by saving his former partner from a similar destiny. As Marley tells Scrooge,
"I am here tonight to warn you that you have yet a chance and hope of escaping my fate."
In this scene, Marley's ghost has materialized in Scrooge's dark and gloomy chambers, draped in chains and carrying the heavy burden of his past misdeeds. Firstly, Marley's use of the modal verb, have yet a chance, indicates a sense of possibility and hope regarding Scrooge's future. This demonstrates Marley's penitent nature as he expresses genuine concern for Scrooge's well-being and actively seeks to prevent him from suffering the same consequences of their past actions. Marley's presence and warning to Scrooge also highlight his acknowledgement of their shared culpability in their past actions. As former business partners, Marley and Scrooge were complicit in their pursuit of wealth and success at the expense of others. However, Marley's recognition of their joint responsibility and his subsequent attempt to save Scrooge from a similar fate demonstrate his penitence and desire to make amends for their past transgressions. Secondly, Marley's ghost appears burdened with heavy chains and cash boxes, representing the weight of his sins in life. He expresses deep regret for his selfishness and greed, which have led him to eternal suffering. Marley's visible anguish and the description of his torment serve as a stark reminder of the consequences of living without compassion and generosity. Through his suffering, Marley demonstrates penitence by acknowledging the wrongs of his past. As he tells Scrooge,
"I wear the chain I forged in life. I made it link by link and yard by yard. I girded it on of my own free will, and of my own free will I wore it."
In this quote, Marley openly acknowledges that he alone is responsible for the heavy chain he now bears as a ghost. He forged it through his own actions in life, demonstrating a deep sense of remorse and penitence. By accepting the burden of his chains, Marley reflects his acceptance of the consequences of his actions without attempting to shift blame. This acceptance signifies his genuine remorse for the harm his choices caused and his willingness to face the resulting punishment. Furthermore, Marley's warning to Scrooge hints at a deeper desire for redemption. By urging Scrooge to change his ways, Marley shows a yearning to prevent others from suffering the same fate, reflecting his penitent spirit and his hope to make amends for his past misdeeds. Finally, Marley implores Scrooge to change his ways and embrace compassion and kindness. He emphasizes the opportunity for redemption, urging Scrooge to mend his ways before it's too late. Marley's plea for Scrooge to amend his life reflects his own desire for redemption, suggesting that even in death he seeks to make amends for his past sins. In his fervent exclamation,
"Business. Mankind was my business. The common welfare was my business. Charity, mercy, forbearance, and benevolence were all my business. The dealings of my trade were but a drop of water in the comprehensive ocean of my business."
The metaphor of the ocean symbolizes the vastness and depth of human experience, emphasizing the enormity of Marley's missed opportunities to prioritize compassion and kindness. By describing his past pursuits in business as but a drop of water in this vast ocean, Marley acknowledges the insignificance of material wealth compared to the broader scope of human welfare. This metaphor highlights Marley's penitent realization of the true value of life and the importance of prioritizing altruism over self-interest. The repeated use of the word business carries an ironic tone, emphasizing the absurdity of reducing life's complexities to mere financial transactions. Through his passionate plea, Marley shows his sincere regret for his past failures and his desire for enlightenment, urging Scrooge to learn from his mistakes and embrace a life of compassion and kindness. And that brings us to the end of today's lesson. We've seen how Jacob Marley shows deep concern for Scrooge as they were both complicit in their pursuit of wealth and success at the expense of others. Secondly, we saw how Marley's warning to Scrooge demonstrates that he does not want others to suffer the same fate as him. Lastly, we looked at Marley's genuine regret and remorse as he pleads for Scrooge to embrace compassion. Remember to keep revising this lesson and see you next time.